What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Repower's Garage. And for the last couple months, we've been talking about small engine warehouse and some of the items that they have. And today we're going to practice what we preach. We have one of their kits. This is a Repower kit that they sell for a John Deere 400 lawn tractor. When we say lawn tractor, ain't no lawn mower. This is a real deal. This is when mowers was mowers and not throwaway piece of garbage. So they make these Repower kits so you can bolt right in a modern day V-twin instead of the problematic old engines that was in this John Deere. A lot of people have problems with them. So this is one of the best V-twins that you can get on the market. Also, there's a ton of performance parts for them. We're not worried about that with this build, but we have their whole kit here. It comes with everything you need. The exhaust, the wiring harness is already figured out. So if you have a 400 that hasn't been like modified in any way, then you can bolt this right in, plug it in, and have your mower running in less than probably an hour or two. You do need a cherry picker to make it handy to put this engine in, because it does have a drive shaft on the back side, has a V-belt set up on the front side of the engine, how it's going to be placed in the frame. So it is handy to have a cherry picker or some type of hoist. But everything's in the kit to get this thing going. It comes with instructions. We're not going to use those. We're going to figure it out on our own. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the whole front clip off. It's just probably about 6 to 8 bolts. You can take the whole front clip off. We'll hook this up to a cherry picker. It does have cherry picker hooks on the engine, and we can lower it down into the chassis, and we'll show you step by step how to repower your John Deere 400 with small engine warehouse.
Before dropping the engine in, make sure to install the key in the output shaft, and this is going to lock in the drive shaft once you slide it on.
So you have to get this drive shaft slid on to the 1-inch shaft they put on the front of this motor. This was the only hard part that we foreseen. That's why you almost have to have a cherry picker.
Agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this.
I would not be able to do this.
We only need to get it back about a 1/2 inch or so, and then we can get that slid all the way down in there, and then she will be golden. So we're almost there. So the manual will tell you to remove the drive shaft, but we found it easier to install the engine with the drive shaft still in the mower. And you can see it coupled right there. And we just basically had to tap on it with a hammer, and it all slid in there. We did end up pulling the drive shaft out of the rear end on accident.
Later that same evening.
So if you're having problems getting the drive shaft, it's only, on this particular one, it was 4 bolts. You had a bolt and a nut back here on the fenders, and you have one right here. You do have to remove this knob, and then you can get access to the drive shaft right here. So I do recommend, it takes 2 minutes to pull this back half off. Do that, because lining up this drive shaft it's impossible.
You can't do it without doing that.
Yeah, so once we got everything hooked up, we accidentally slid that off back there. Didn't know it, pulled the back fenders, fixed it. The Woodruff key sucks in there, but you can do it. Have faith.
Doable with this off.
Yeah, you cannot. I mean, there's no way possible you can without it. And it takes 2 seconds, so. We got all 4 bolts. It comes with the new bolts that set. This is where the original engine block would have bolted. They built this cradle that sits right down in there. What's awesome is they give you a oil drain hose so you don't make a mess when you're changing the oil. And then you also have a proprietary exhaust that comes with it that bolts right on the front. your throttle cable. So now we're going to work on getting the belts aligned. The belts is what engages the deck. It's a drive shaft driven on this particular mower. Goes down to a 90-degree gearbox. So all right, let's proceed on. So this was probably one of the most frustrating parts of it. We didn't read, again, we were being idiots. We didn't read the instructions to see that most likely you're going to want to put this idler pulley, or this is like your tension pulley that engages the deck. You should remove the factory one and install this new one. So the kit comes with this right here, which is a guide roller with a standoff. Everything's installed just like this. We have this cable with a spring on it. This goes to the handle that we're engaging. So this is going to clip on like so. So we have that on. Then you have this, which has like a brake shoe on it. This hooks on the back of that and aligns with this like so. Then we have this that had this weird spring on it that also needs to go in there first. So this is basically the way it went. Very confusing if you didn't have all the pieces. So this is how it's going to go, and then this spring this straight arm goes down inside here, and this hook hooks over this little bolt that's welded there. So it goes in like, I'm just kind of showing you. Let me get it all lined up like that right there. And then this hook is onto the frame, and then this goes up to your handle. So this is like a brake that engages. So yeah.
But the part that was frustrating is we recommend taking that off before you install the engine, because it's hard to get to.
So the main reason why that is because this is a very shallow headed bolt. So it's hard to get anything in there other than an open sided wrench once it's in there, because follow me over here, this pulley is right in the way of comfortably getting in there. So this is how this will go. This is going to be hard to fish this down in there. Well, not really, maybe. No, should be good. Okay, we're going to fish this down in there. We're going to hook up that spring last. So I'm hand threading this bolt in, and it's a shouldered bolt. And once you get it in this, tighten it down as much as possible. Then you can hook that lower spring, and we'll show you it once we get to that. You can barely fit anything in here. Okay, so that's snugged up with the electric. Then we can fully tighten it with the wrench, the open end of a wrench. So it's made to hover like this. So even though this is tight, this will not be tight because it's made to move. Okay, get a hook this.
Yep. That's it.
Just like that. So now, when we pull up on this, it's going to work that setup like that and tension the belts. So this is a dual V-belt setup. I'm going to slide the V-belt down and grab on the inside groove of that lower pulley. We're just rolled it. There we go. One is installed. So we got both of our V-belts installed. So now when this cable pulls up, you can see it tensions the belt. But this will be ran after the hood is installed. So what we're going to do is tighten up these 4 motor mount bolts, which is 9/16. Against it, ready to go. It's a super nice fit. The old engine weighs more than this one, makes less power, and is harder to work on. So upgrading to these Vanguards these are some of the best V-twins you can get, baby. And the kit does come with a new choke and a new throttle cable, but our mower has a nice choke and throttle cable, so we're not going to have to switch these out. We just have to hook them up. So our choke is going to run over here. It's kind of hard to work. That Z-bend needs to just fall all the way through that hole. Come on, baby. Now we loosen this. This is going to hold the housing of the cable. And normally slip the cable under that. So we got these tools. from Big Eye Design. They are super handy. Turns into a T-handle. It's all titanium build. That's real nice. And when you're done, you have a nice pocket screwdriver. All right, now let's try the choke. See if she's working.
Yep.
All right, now that's our choke. Actually tuck this in some. The hood will hide this. Then we have our throttle. For throttle, it's gonna go, the housing is gonna go under this one. Use a Z-band. Get in there just like that.
So on this part, we actually put the Z-bend in the wrong hole. You're going to want to go on the opposite side of this bracket. There's another hole that you can slide that Z-bend into. What this is going to cause is the throttle to be reversed. Turtle is rabbit and rabbit is turtle. You'll notice at the end of the video that this was the case, so just make sure you put it in the correct hole and it'll be right. So on with the video.
We're going to put our, oh, son of a monkey's uncle. And this is something you're going to want to make sure to adjust once the mower is actually running, because you don't want it full throttle at idle. We have ours all the way down. It's probably more like that. Again, you're probably going to want to adjust this when it's looks pretty good, but we'll definitely want to adjust this once the mower's able to start. Snug that up for now, but that's it. Your throttle and your choke is hooked up that easy. So this piece here, we're going to reuse the bolts that are right here. This holds this side of the oil cooler up, and we got a bolt up here that we can use, and it basically sits up here, bolts right there. That'll allow us to route that tension cable for the belt. So you have this bracket here, you thread on, and you can go ahead and test it. Okay.
There it is. Yeesh.
All right, now we can put a new cutter key.
Cutter key. Bend it over.
Really do one side.
This.
There we go.
Real nice.
And this wheel we already had with our John Deere, so that's all we got to do. So now
that engine looks nice in there.
Oh yeah, it's clean, like Mr. Clean with hair. It's rare. So we're going to go ahead and put oil and do the exhaust before we move on to figuring out the wiring, because the wiring is going to be determined on if someone's modified your mower. We're using Amsoil 1030 small engine oil. This is the best stuff. Right, so slide this exhaust in. Right. So we're going to prop it up like that. Make sure to align your gaskets. Now these do not have studs like some engines, so this could be a little difficult.
A little bit of a pain.
Little bit, but maybe not too bad. Okay, got that one started. So we got the exhaust kicking out the side here. So need to torque those down. Then like we were saying, we got to figure out the wiring, because someone has modified the harness on this. So we got connectors everywhere. So we got to find out what everything goes to and hook it up. We've got oil in it. We need to run the engine for just a few minutes, shut it off, recheck the oil, and that's going to allow us to let the oil pump or the oil filter get filled up and stuff, and then we can go mow the grass on a John Deere 400. All right, so she's all done. Moment of truth. If the battery's not dead, that is. Oh, it's got a cam in it, baby. Go forward first, see what happens. What? Go forward first, see what happens.
Transmission from neutral.
I was like, what is, probably low just to back it out.
There it is.
I legit thought, like, what did we do? You look so tiny on that thing, dude.
The throttle is throwing me off.
Yeah.
Blades are on. See how she mows. All in all, not too shabby.
So guys, that's how easy it is to use a small engine warehouse repower kit. This was honestly like, it takes longer to film these videos, of course, but if we didn't have to film it, it would only took a few hours for me and Lonnie to accomplish this. I think with this particular mower, you do need a cherry picker. You could do it by setting it up there. It's just going to be a lot more headache. The drive shaft is the only frustrating part on this mower. But once we pulled those back fenders off, you can align if you pull it out of the rear end, the drive shaft is easily put back on. So make sure to check out the links in the video's description for Small Engine Warehouse. They have a ton of repower kits. We do have a John Deere Gator we're going to do next. And I'm really excited about it because I do like the 6x4 Gators quite a bit. But they make them for other equipment too. It's just John Deere is really everywhere's in my area. So it's easy to find those, and that's probably their most popular kit. So check them out. Let them know that Redbeard sent you. They're an awesome company to work with. They got a lot of parts. We also have some of these differentials right here that we're super excited about. We're going to show you guys in an upcoming video, and we're going to do a full four-wheel drive setup from Small Engine Warehouse, so stay tuned for that. And also the Gator that we're repowering. Thank you, Small Engine Warehouse, for sponsoring today's video. And we got another piece of equipment back on the road, baby. We love you guys, and God bless.